What's good? It's Lilbootycall. Shout out Hype Off Life.
Thanks for coming through. So, for people who are still sleeping on you, who are you?
My name is Lilbootycall. My real name is Michael. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I make music.
Okay. So, how was it growing up in San Antonio back in the day?
It was pretty chill. It was really normal, before all the technology and shit. Like, just hang out outside. So it was pretty cool. There's a lot of land out there in Texas, so we just like catch frogs and crickets and walk around everywhere. But yeah, it was pretty fun.
Okay. So, you used to be in the band playing the clarinet.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you in the marching band or like the regular band?
Yeah, I was in the regular band. I think it was like sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. Yeah, yeah, I was just in the regular one. It was just like one of the periods. Yeah, I always wanted to do the marching one, but like, I was like scared. I don't know what I was scared of, but yeah.
Oh, I was in the band too.
Oh,
It
for
was
real?
cool. Yeah, I played the trombone.
Oh, that's lit. That's
Yeah.
lit.
So, your music, you give hope to like people that are outcasts and like,
Yeah,
on the outside of society.
yeah.
So, how did growing up affect the way you like see yourself and your mission of like, just being that voice for those people?
Um, well, growing up, like, I don't know how to put it without sounding weird. It's like growing up in the area I grew up in, there wasn't really much to do,
Mhm.
so like I stated, like we would just be like playing outside and stuff like that. Cause I lived on the east side of San Antonio. It's not like the best side ever. Um, so I wasn't really, I was outside and I was just always hanging with friends and riding scooters and just doing, normal people stuff, normal kid stuff. So whenever my mom was like, "Yo, we got to move out this spot because it's getting really bad." We moved to the north side, which is more of like a richer side, and that's when I was like shown all the materialistic stuff, and you wasn't cool if you didn't have Jordans, and you didn't, like you had to rock American Eagle at the time to be like cool and preppy and like have money. So I was just so used to being just a normal person and just living life and not caring about like what I was wearing. I was like okay with like Ross clothes, and I was okay with Walmart clothes and plain clothes. So then whenever I got to sixth grade, that's when I was just like, bro, like how could people treat me differently just based off of the stuff I wear? You feel me?
Mhm.
So I think that's where it all started. I mean, of course, like I feel like that's where it all started when it comes to like outside people and how I felt like an outcast. And of course, it went way deeper than that before I even moved, when it started coming to like my parents' divorce and stuff, when I started like really focusing on myself, because I couldn't count on nobody because my dad was always at work. And when he would be home, he would be fighting with my mom. So, and then my mom was just too busy with school and stuff like that, and we'd always be at daycare or whatever. So, you know, yeah. But
Mhm. What differences do you see now? How people treat you then compared to back then? Because now you have like over 400,000 Spotify listeners, and like
yeah.
people gravitate towards you. So what differences have you noticed?
Um, you know, I feel like there's definitely been a difference, but I just feel like I like if you were to ask a different artist, they would be like, "Yo, that's dope." I'm like, "Oh, like that's crazy. Like people treat me different." But I still, as a person, as an individual myself, I still don't see myself like, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Mm-hmm.
just walk in here, I tell you what's up, I tell everybody what's up. Like, I drink regular water.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not like so crazy. So, like I mean, over the past couple of months, as things start to like climb bigger and bigger, as like my artist like profile gets bigger, I just like started to realize like it don't really matter how people treat me. Like I'm like as long as I know who I am at the end of the day, it really don't matter. So, you know, I really try to like not focus on how people treat me. I really focus on how I treat myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, like I like to answer your question, I've seen like a difference. I've seen like a lot more love, but that comes with like more like fans and supporters. So, yeah, and more people appreciating, you know, me as an artist making better music. I think that's really dope. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, of course, like as you grow as an artist, the more hate and the more love at the same time. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's like a 50-50 thing. So I just try not to pay attention to it because it's always gonna exist. You know, so yeah.
Have you had like people from your past popping up like, hey, like, you know?
Yeah. But I like, you know, as a younger artist, like if you were to tell me like a year ago, I would have been like, oh hell yeah, like they all in my DMs, like yeah, they all over me now, bro. Like yeah, what's up? But you know, as I progress and I mature and I'm like around different artists, and I just learn more and more every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, you just start to appreciate those people because it's like a little push. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just kind of like, you know, it's like you people from your past doubt you and you use it to fuel yourself. So then when they come back around, they're like, yo, like that's dope. Like I'm proud of you. It's like you can't take it so like petty. You just gotta be like, damn, like that's dope. Like I made them proud. That's dope. Like I did what I was supposed to do. Now we move on instead of like holding it in your heart like with hate and stuff like that. So yeah, like I be going to like, you know, the grocery store or whatever, or I see people like I used to go to school with or people I really didn't get along with, and it's just like, yo, what's up? Like sometimes it's even me going up to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, yo, I remember you. Like, what's up? And they'll still be like kind of all weird. Like, why the hell did you tell me what's up? Like I used to fuck with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to make fun of him or whatever. But it's all love at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because like if I die or they die or like I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be remembered like that. Like so.
Yeah.
I just want, I just live every day just like whatever, like just going off like pure heart. Like I don't really try to involve like emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So what are you doing to take care of yourself? Because you mentioned like you starting, like not starting, but you love yourself more.
Yeah.
So what do you do for self-care?
Stay off social media. That's for one. Yeah, that shit is so mind-boggling, man. It's like, you know, like if you look at my tweets, I just tweet like random thought shit. Like the other day, I wonder, like I said, I wonder if aliens are like thick, like just like weird shit that just comes to my head, or
Mm-hmm.
just like random stuff, and then I just post like random like pictures on Instagram. But you know, I don't follow nobody. I mean, I just follow Cranchu, which is my videographer, but
Mm-hmm.
he be on the same thing. Like we don't really be like I don't know. I don't follow nobody because I feel like there's like Twitter's so opinionated, and you know I feel like it really gets into my head on how other people are living,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to treat myself as like a business rather than an individual. So you know it's like, you know, and the whole social media aspect, I feel like, you know, like we shouldn't have to be following each other for you to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I treat myself like a business. Like if you fuck with me, you're gonna follow me. You're gonna keep up with it as if, you know, you follow Louis Vuitton, or you follow Gucci, or you follow like PacSun to see their deals coming up, or you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So I don't know. Yeah, staying off of social media. I don't eat that well because I'm always on the road. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's just like, but I like staying away from like drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. I mean, I used to do it in the past. I'm not even gonna lie, but I don't know. It just gets to a point where you just realize it's kind of like pointless and worthless and a waste of time, and you know, it just drains you after a while, and it's so repetitive. I don't work out either, so it's not like, oh, I do that instead of this. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, you just start realizing what's negative and what's positive, and then you know, like I can't really tell people what to do because it's like people will choose what they want to do and what is positive for them. Like what's positive for me is might be negative for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Or what's positive for them might be negative. Like some people like smoking weed to chill out. I can't do that. Some people like drinking beers. I can sometimes, but not all the time. Or some people can do yoga or meditation. I don't know how to do that. So it's just, I don't know. But I mean, it's just really getting to know yourself and what works for you is really the thing. So
Yeah. Speaking of not doing drugs or anything, how do you navigate like going to parties and like all that with all the drinking and crazy stuff?
To be honest, I don't really go to parties. Really. I mean, like last night, like, cause like I have anxiety, so like whenever there's like weed smoke, like weed like triggers my anxiety, so I start freaking out and tripping out. So like last night, we were doing a video shoot for like another artist, and we went in there and like the whole thing was like hot box, like crazy, just weed smoke everywhere, and I was just like people were in there. There was like 50, 60 people in there, and I was just like, I'm just gonna stand outside and like eat my nuggets that I just got from Wendy's.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, you know, it's not really me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, you know, I don't like doing all that crazy stuff. Now, if you ask myself like 5 years ago, yeah, I'd be in that bitch like crazy, like getting lit. But yeah, I mean, as maturity and time goes on, it's just different. I don't know.
Yeah. So you have a new mixtape, your debut mixtape.
Yeah.
Jesus Said Run It Back.
Yeah.
What's the meaning behind the title?
So Jesus said run it back, you know, like, you know, as I said back then, you know, I used to get like messed with, and like, you know, it was just different moving from place to place. So, you know, it was a lot of change, and I had to deal with like different people, of course, with any change. And you know, being a poor kid moving to a rich area, you know, it was like, I mean, I couldn't really deal with it. So, you know, I started I mean, I think like depression developed like way earlier, like with the divorce thing happening. But you know, it really brought it out. Like it brought out the the depression and anxiety and like mental shit. And you know, there was this one time I saw this kid tweet about it the other day. Nah, I don't even want to go into that. But yeah, you know, Jesus said run it back. You know, because I went the whole aspect behind it is I went through a whole life of dealing with emotions and mental stuff and being like uncontrolling of my emotions, and I would just spaz out, and I would have to have so much help and therapists and stuff like that. And you know, I realized that, you know, just like I said, like, you know, maybe some stuff doesn't work for you, but it works for me, or what doesn't work for me works for you. But it didn't help for me, so I went out of my way to try to find like my own way to deal with it. And you know, I don't know, like, I just realized that, you know, you don't need pills, and you don't need drugs, and you don't need alcohol, and you don't need, you know, partying, a girlfriend, and sex, and all that crazy stuff that people just cover up things like Band-Aids. Like, I just realized, like, you know, you just need to love yourself and know who you are, and, you know, after you love yourself, and you just start, like, treating yourself better. So, you know, I found like that was the very key to living life to your fullest. So I felt like, you know, my whole past life was just sadness and stuff, and I was looking for the key to life, to being happy. So I felt like, you know, right when I got a chance as being like a professional artist, I felt like that was a second life that I was given from God. And it was just kind of like, good, like, look, I'm going to give you a second life. Even though you dealt with all this trauma, I'm going to give you a second life. And you're going to use that key that you found, that you were searching for all these years, and now that you finally found it, I'm going to give you this platform, and I'm going to give you the chance to speak to all these kids and people, and you're going to teach them how to deal with this, so you can teach people how to be happy with themselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I speak about in my music. Like, you know, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to, like, cry. And so, you know, you're not a bitch. Like, it's not unmasculine for you to have emotions, and it's just like, you know, society shit. But yeah, that's what Jesus said, run it back, is just, you know, like, you know, I had this life, I thought it was over. God said, run that shit back. You won't get a second chance. And then boom, that's Jesus said, run it back.
That's
So,
dope.
Yeah.
Hmm. You have a song with Juicy J on there.
Yeah.
How does that feel? I know you grew up listening to 3-6.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty dope. You know, like my mom had me when she was like 19, 20, and she has a bunch of sisters and brothers around the same age. So, you know, I was like growing up like with them in their like late 20s, early 30s. That's when like they started like partying and crazy.
Hmm.
So, you know, I would just like hear 3-6 Mafia and like all the 90s music and 2000s music and like Fat Joe and Paul Wall and Slim Thug and just like all that crazy stuff. So it was just crazy like listening to that, and then like me just making a song and me telling my manager like, yo, like Juicy J would sound dope on this. I was like, you think I could get Juicy J? And he was like, you want Juicy J? I'll get you Juicy J. And I was just like, nah, bro, like you capping, bro, like you for real gonna let me work with him? He was like, yeah, bro, like I told you anything's possible. So I was like, oh, dope. And then he sent back like the verse, and I was like, bro, I sent it out to all my friends. I was like, bro, y'all gotta hear this shit.
Hmm.
They were like, damn, bro, like this is crazy, like, cause like we're all from the South, you know, so it was just crazy. But yeah, like I'm still psyched out about it. Like we're talking about doing a video with it, so
Oh.
like it'll be dope to like meet him and be like, bro, Juicy J. Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want your fans to know before you go?
Yeah. So stay true to yourself. Don't try to impress people, because you're gonna sit there wondering why you're trying so hard for people that really don't even care for you. You know, take care of your family. People are temporary. Not everybody is temporary, but always have the mentality that, you know, not everybody's gonna stick around. But that doesn't mean treat people like shit. I mean, it's like, you know, value the time you have with them, because, you know, they might not be here tomorrow. So, yeah, and just do what you want. I mean, don't fucking go rob a store or some shit, but like, you know, just live life how you want to live your life. Don't do dumb shit, but yeah, just make yourself happy, and just, yeah, anything's possible. I mean, I'm here, you know. Yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah.
Okay, thanks for coming through.
What? Thank you.
You're welcome.